When you and I first got to spend significant time together, it was actually at a cookout. And you had brought lumpia.
Yeah.
And I mean, so food, I think, is maybe that's the big common denominator. You know, I'm from the South. And, we'll go, okay, so here's a good for example. You grew up in Nashville, and there is Nashville hot chicken. I don't know what kind of hot mess they're serving in all kind of restaurants around here that purports to be Nashville hot chicken, but it is not Nashville hot chicken. So I get that. But I think it's, if we can, if anyone can get some authentic lumpia, that will be worth the price of admission all by itself.
Well, ours, the one you've tasted, is as authentic as they come. It's actually a family recipe, a family secret. A lot of people think, egg roll, lumpia, they're all the same. No, they're not.
Not the same.
And each family actually have their price dish or price recipe accordingly for that. And you can have, one Filipino family, that's chicken adobo, but another family would prepare it. It would be completely different.
Right.
So, I mean, and I think that's the social part of us, the breaking bread.
Yeah.
Everybody is happier and gets
Right.
together more when they're, sharing a meal type of thing.
Right. And I mean, to me, as much as I'm not going to eat the Nashville hot chicken that's here since I've tried it, for me, that imitation is the best form of flattery. And that's why I think we can kind of take away from there. It's like, I was just down in Costa Rica and they had Chinese food, and I think it was like, I butcher Spanish. I'm trying to learn, but it was like basically food China, the way it translates in English. But it was like the food comedia China, de China or whatever, and it wasn't even like Chinese food like we have in the United States. It was this other version of it, but it was the point that people really want to that extent partake in the culture.
Right.
Because getting into enjoying the food, like Thai food or, the Filipino food. And, there's not a lot of Filipino restaurants,
No,
which
not.
is really a shame from my perspective. But, but just not having that access once you start to sit down, break bread, get familiar, I think it inspires some curiosity.
It does. And actually, on the Filipino side, I think that's almost by design because we'd rather have you come over the
your
house
house.
and spend several hours as opposed to,
Yeah.
in the restaurant, you only have an hour or two,
Right.
really. And maybe even spend the wee hours all the way
Yeah.
till dawn.
So we lived in a part of Oahu. Our neighborhood was predominantly, like most of the people in the neighborhood were Filipino, and that was exactly our experience. I mean, it was big doings. Constantly and multi-generational, multi-family gatherings, and we were always very embraced.
Yeah.
Come in, they feed you, and they feed you, and they feed you, and talking and laughing and games and more food. And it was wonderful. I mean, that's, and then I got to know some people, just, some of the things they do, like Filipinos don't point. They direct with their lips.
Right.
And so there's just, I don't know. I think it's a lot of neat stuff. And
And
so
you-
I hope your Heritage Center kind of gets into some of those things as well.
Right.